Hi, this is Nick. Welcome to ISG, where we talk all things real estate in the Czech Republic. Today, we're doing our Christmas message for 2024. It's been a year of a few surprises. I think at the beginning of the year, my expectation was for prices to not raise quite as much as they have done, and for interest rates to drop a little bit more than they have done. So these have definitely been surprising. On the rental side, it always felt that rents were going to go up, but these levels are really unprecedented and quite amazingly high. If we look at the property prices in Prague, for example, they're up around 11% for the year, which is quite a large jump. If we look at the prices across the country, they're generally up around 5 to 10%, with only two places which showed negative growth for the year. Both Pilsen and Zlín were negative. However, if you look at the data, you will see that they actually grew quite a lot in the previous year. So across the last few years, this kind of averages out. In general, what this is all showing us is the trend has been upwards for prices. With that being said, the volumes of sales have generally been quite low. They're much lower than they have been during, for example, 2021. And because of that, I think this does skew the numbers quite a lot. And another thing that skews the numbers quite a bit is the types of properties that are being sold. There's a lot of new build properties being sold, and those are generally smaller units. You know, they're all in the range of, say, 5 to 10 million. And there's not that much being sold, which is, say, in the 10 to 20 million crown bracket. Now, once you come across to the luxury real estate and, you know, the 20 million plus bracket, then you'll see there's actually quite a few sales going on there as well, especially in Prague 1, where big real estate has been changing hands recently. Interest rates only dropped around 0.75% for the year. We started the year just below the 6% mark, and we've ended the year just around the 5.25% mark. So they haven't had as much movement down as we thought, yet still the market has been growing. Rents in Prague have been up 8.7% for the year, which is again quite high, similar number to the price growth that we've seen, which, as I've mentioned many times in the videos, is a surprising thing. Normally, when one goes up, the other one goes down. And we've had both of them going up for quite some time now, which really shows the pressure that the real estate market is under in Prague. All cities in the Czech Republic trended up for rent in 2024. At the lower end, we saw Brno at 2.4%, and at the higher end, Pardubice, over 18% growth for the year. The thing is with these high rents is they're also encouraging buy-to-let investors to buy properties to rent out. Obviously, at the moment, they're looking at it as, if I buy a property, it's going to go up in value, and the rent's going to go up every year. So this is really, really interesting for property investors at the moment. And we've seen lots of people buying for this reason, especially as a hedge against inflation and as interest rates from banks on savings have reduced quite rapidly this year. Now, this is putting quite a lot of pressure on the sales market as well. So it's no real surprise that these prices have been going up. So what can we expect for 2025? I think it's likely that interest rates will come down. They're probably not going to come down very quickly because, again, we're seeing issues with inflation remaining a little bit stubborn around the 3% mark still. And we're also seeing that unemployment has not really been rising. It's just up a little bit year on year. And if we look to America, for example, where we see the Fed talking just recently about their decisions for next year, it does seem that, again, no one feels that the economic situation is really under control, and therefore they will likely keep the interest rates higher. And I imagine that Europe and the Czech Republic will keep it the same way as well. Ultimately, bigger changes in the real estate market will only happen if interest rates fall. With net immigration to the Czech Republic continuing to rise, as I think it will do for 2025, again, it still puts lots of pressure on the housing market for both rents and for purchases. So therefore, based on that, it's hard to see a rapid fall in the prices of properties or prices of rents. If we eventually see a decent drop in interest rates, we may see prices go up quite a lot as more and more people look to buy a property. However, statistically and historically, when the interest rates come down quite a bit, it normally means that the economy is in trouble. So we may have high unemployment, or we may have very low inflation or deflation. And quite often this means that there aren't quite as many people looking to buy real estate as there were at that time, and we can actually see property prices fall quite a bit. So it will remain to be seen what happens in this scenario. There are different factors every time you go through an economic cycle, and this one is no different. Some Prague municipalities are set to release some housing stock in 2025. There's talk of several hundred units entering the market, which would probably be in the form of an auction. Now, although this may temporarily reduce prices, as there would be quite a few at the same time, ultimately this probably just has the knock-on effect for rents and not really real estate prices. I think the market quickly absorbs these kinds of numbers, but just that there may be lots of investors there who are looking to buy because in general it's cash purchases, and that probably just has a knock-on effect that there will be more properties available to rent, and that could mean that rents drop a little bit. There are also these potential changes to Airbnb market in the Czech Republic. If law goes through, then that means that the city will be able to decide on what happens, for example, in the Prague market. And if ultimately there were some restrictions on the Airbnb market, we would see a lot of properties move from short-term rentals to long-term rentals. And again, that would have the effect of dropping rents across the city area, but primarily in the city centre. During the beginning of next year, we're going to start doing some new videos about what to do in 2025 if you're a new buyer or a new property investor, and give our advice on how to play the market. Thanks very much for watching, and Merry Christmas.